Hi guys, welcome back to another video. So for today, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to play Pokemon. So what I am doing here is I am prize shuffling. This is something that should be done or could be done. It's just the best way to shuffle, especially with no sleeves on the back of your cards. And so this is how I'm going to shuffle. You just separate all your cards into 6 piles and then grab piles at the end. So Pokemon can get very complicated, and it's good to know just the basic rules. So for today, it's going to be pretty basic rules. I'm just going to play myself. I'm not going to have an opponent. We're just going to skip the opponent's turn. And yeah. So some other resortful places to go to learn how to play Pokemon is there's actually a Pokemon TCG app that teaches you how to play. It's pretty fun. You get to build your own decks there too. So if this was looked fun to you, go download the app. This is not a sponsorship, I just think it's cool. Okay, so I've just prize shuffled. So here's how you set up. Your deck goes right here on this side, I believe. You are going to first flip a coin. Oh, actually, first you'll ask your opponent if they want to tap or chop your deck. Anytime an item card tells you to shuffle your deck, you should always ask your opponent if they would like to tap or chop or cut or tap. There's different ways to say it. But tapping would just be to tap it. You don't want to do anything. Chop it would be you chop the deck in half. I'm going to chop it just because. Okay, so let's go ahead and after we've asked our opponent, we are going to ask them heads or tails. This can be done with a simple coin flip. You flip a coin. If it's heads or tails, you ask your opponent if they go first, they go second. And then you can do it with the dice where even numbers are heads, odd numbers are tails. So I use the dice method more because I feel like it's more effective because flipping the coin can get hard and messy sometimes. So this needs to be done before you play your prize cards, before you play any cards down or even draw your hand. You should do this. So first or second, they said heads, it was tails. So I would get to pick if I would want to go first or second. Now there are some benefits to going first and there are some benefits to going second. If I were to go first, I can't attack during my first turn, but it's essentially just like an extra turn. I can't play a supporter on my first turn, but I can do everything else to set up my play. So I always like to go first, but some people like to go second because they know they can attack and hopefully get some prize cards. So there are a couple ways you can win the game. You can win the game because your opponent runs out of bench Pokemon. You can have up to 5 benched Pokemon on your bench at a time. You have 6 prize cards over here. If your opponent, each time they kill a Pokemon, if your Pokemon's a basic Pokemon, they draw 1 prize card. If your Pokemon is like an EX, GX, or V, they draw 2 Pokemon. If your opponent is a tag team Pokemon or a VMAX Pokemon, they draw 3 prize cards. As soon as they're out of prize cards, they win the game. The only other way that your opponent can win is if you run out of cards in your deck. So it's good to have balanced Pokemon so you don't run out here, and you have the 60 cards so you don't run out here. And then you just need high attack powers to try and do here. You'll probably lose and gain a couple prize cards every game. That's just how it goes. So to draw, you're going to go ahead and draw 7 cards to begin your turn. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I got a pretty even draw. Meaning I got a few trainers, a few Pokemon, and they're all basic, so I don't have to evolve anything my first turn, which is great. And then I have a couple basic energy cards. So after this, If I did not get a basic Pokemon, I then tell my opponent that I got a mulligan, and then what they go ahead and do is they get to draw an extra card, and then you reshuffle your hand into your deck, tap or chop again, and then you will draw back up to 7. So that's how that works. So then you're going to, and your opponent will be doing the same. You are going to be playing your basic Pokemon. What I like to do in a Pokemon is find Pokemon that I can use fast. So this Pokemon only requires 1 wild energy to get started. So I'm going to go ahead and play that Pokemon first, because both of my other two, this one only requires 1, but its attack says flip a coin of heads. This attack does nothing. And I really just use that card for its evolution. So I will play both of these to my bench. And then I use my Oricorio for her Vital Dance. But I'm going to wait to play that card. Because when I play this Pokemon onto my bench, its ability goes into effect. Okay, so then once I've done this, I've played up my basic Pokemon. My opponent may still be. I'm going to be playing my prize cards, which are just 6 cards. There are several different ways to do it. This is the main way. You just play 6 in a simple order like that. Then once your opponent are ready, you're going to go ahead and flip. Okay, so now if you remember, from the beginning of the game, we flipped a coin and I got to go first. So the beginning part of every single turn, every turn you have to do this. You have to draw a card. Okay, so then there are several different things you can do in a turn. You can play basic Pokemon. I'm going to play Oricorio, which lets me, because of Vital Dance, it says search your deck for 2 basic energies and reveal them and put them into your hand. Okay, so I'm going to take 2 psychic energies. By playing them out front like this, when I search for them, it's showing that I'm revealing them, because that's what the card says. I then shuffle my deck up a few times, which I'm not the best at shuffling. But it's much easier to shuffle when you have sleeves, and sleeves are very well recommended. So then I'd go here. Remember the tap or chop. Okay. So now the next thing you can do in a turn are there several different things. You can play an item card. You can play an energy card. You can play a supporter card. And I'll real quickly show you all these things. So, real fast, I'm going to attach a psychic energy to Electrike. You can only attach 1 energy a turn. And then that's over for me. I'm going to play Tornadus on my bench. I am going to use, because you can play as many basic Pokemon on your bench as you want in a turn, but you can only have up to 5 Pokemon on your bench. I usually only like to play 4 on my bench, because then if I get a really card like that like the Dugtrio that I'm searching for, and I need the duo first, that will be saved in my 5th slot if I don't already have it on my bench. So it's always good just to leave 1 spot open for a card that's better and you need it in that moment. And then if you need a card to be played, you can play it. So now what is going to happen is I'm going to play a item card, which says flip 2 coins. For each head, search your deck for an evolution Pokemon. Reveal it and put it into your hand. So, flip 2 coins. I'm just going to roll a dice. Remember, you can do the coin. It was tails for the first one and heads for the second one, which means that now I can go ahead and search for an evolution Pokemon. What I'm going to go ahead and search for is the evolution for my first Pokemon. You can evolve as many Pokemon as you want in a turn, but you cannot evolve a Pokemon as the first turn it was played down. So I would evolve this Electrike if I could, but it is not my... this is the first turn this card has been played down, so it can't be played this time, but I will evolve it next time. I'm going to go ahead and use Shauna. This is my supporter card. Oh wait, never mind. So this is my supporter card for this turn. I cannot play a supporter card because it's my first turn. A supporter card cannot be played on your first turn, but say if you chose to go second, then that is the only case where you can play a supporter card. So that's one of the benefits of going second. You can attack, you can play a support card, but going first is just like an extra turn to attach an energy and play item cards. Essentially, it's like a setup. So keep in mind, I put this here. I now could play an extra item card, but I don't want to discard cards for Ultra Ball. So I am going to go ahead and say end. Now it is going to pass to the opponent's turn. The opponent's going to do whatever, and the opponent does an attack that ends up doing 30 damage, okay? I'm going to draw a card. Have to do that every turn. I'm going to attach a second energy that I just drew. I'm going to attach that to Electrike. And that is my only energy per turn. I'm going to evolve Electrike to Manectric. If this Pokemon had a special condition, poison, burn, any of those, confused, any of them, it would be then removed because I evolved it. The same goes for if you retreat. So say I wanted to retreat right now. At the very, very, very bottom of your card, I'll show you on this one, that little dot right there, it will say retreat. Maybe if my camera... Anyways, it will say retreat and a little ball of energy for each one. That is how many energies you have to discard in the process of retreating. So then you discard the energy, bring this Pokemon back, and bring up another one. So that's how retreating works. So that is kind of the basics on how to play this game. When this Pokemon would be knocked out, it would be discarded. Let me see if there was anything else I missed while playing this game. My opponent would draw a prize card for that, and then say I didn't have these here, he would win. So just as a reminder, here are the things you can do per turn. We're going to pretend like this guy was still up. Now it's my second turn. We're just going to pretend like this is what's going on. You can... Each turn has three main parts. You gotta draw a card. You must, then you can do any of the following things. You can put as many basic Pokemon on your bench as you like, but remember, it's up to 5. You can evolve your Pokemon as many times as you want. They just have to be, the second time this Pokemon has been in the game for, the second turn. You can play trainer cards. You can play stadium cards, which I didn't really explain stadium cards. Stadium cards go up right in the middle between your deck or your playmat and your opponent's playmat. Both people can use stadium cards at any point in the game. And then you can retreat at any point in time. Oh, also for item cards, you can play as many item cards you want in a game, and you can play as many, or you can only play one supported card on your turn besides your first turn. And then you can retreat if you'd like. Remember, you have to discard the energies. You can use abilities a turn, as many abilities as you want. Those aren't attacks. Those are the text in red at the top. And then you can attack. As soon as you attack, that automatically ends your turn. Now let's go over just a few of the special conditions. So special conditions will sometimes have a card that says, like, put 20 damage counters on your opponent's active Pokemon. And this Pokemon is confused. So what each one does is, say your Pokemon gets put asleep. While it's put asleep, you're going to flip your Pokemon. So you remember it's asleep. your Pokemon cannot retreat, and it cannot attack. Between turns, you're going to flip a coin. If the coin is heads, like this, it got a 4. If the coin is heads, your Pokemon then wakes up and then can use your attack your next turn. So in between my turn and my opponent's turn, we can do that. Now, if your Pokemon is burned, you find a burn marker. Either you or your opponent might have one. And you're going to put your burn marker. They look like this. Just a simple little bandage. And you put them on your Pokemon's picture so it's not covering up the text. You then are going to, between turns, just like asleep, put 2 damage counters on it, which is just a 2 on the dice, or if you have a 20 damage counters, that's how that works. And then after you put the 2 damage counters on, you can flip a coin to see if you can get rid of the burn. If not, then it stays until you put another 2 on in between your opponent's and your turn. And then you can roll to see if the bandage goes off for that. So that is burned. For confused, you're going to flip your Pokemon. And there's several different ways to flip them. Like this, I have right here is a huge mat on like a trainer deck. That is how I learned to play. This is just like a simple video for if you guys don't need to. So essentially, next thing you have to do is if your Pokemon is confused. So remember, asleep is this way. I did that wrong the first time. Burned is your burn counter. Confused, you confuse your Pokemon by turning it towards you. And then you must flip a coin before attacking. If you get a heads, like this was the 6. If you get a heads, your Pokemon can now attack. If you got a tails, your Pokemon cannot attack, and you have to put 3 damage counters on your Pokemon for failing its attack. And that one just stays the entire game. Confused just stays. Paralyzed is this way. If a Pokemon is paralyzed, it cannot attack or retreat. And then remove the special condition paralyzed during between turn step if your Pokemon was paralyzed of the beginning of your last turn. So I think your Pokemon stays paralyzed for 1 turn. So that's how that works. And then the last one is poison. Poison is face up damage counter in between turns. Your Pokemon puts a damage counter on it. It's just 1 damage counter in between turns for poison, which is pretty good. Poison is better than burned. You cannot be burned or poisoned twice. If you were burned or poisoned twice, it only acts if you were burned once. So you can't be doing that multiple times. So again, this I highly recommend getting. It goes over in further detail how to play the game. I really hope this guys helped you know how to play at least a little bit. If you're still confused, I'm sure there are multiple other videos out there you can use that will tell you how to play this game. Have an amazing rest of your day. I hope you guys learned something. Make sure to subscribe if this helped you in any way, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.